Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, Women's Final Four, all female officials, mental games never stop. Again, today's topic is the Women's Final Four, all female officials, mental games never stop. I want to do a show on this because it was interesting how, as I looked at that article, and it was like this gigantic and never before in this Final Four, where they had all four, they had all the Final Four, they had all the officials were women. All the officials in the Final Four for the women's, NCAA, Final Four, March Madness was women. And supremacists, the most awesome mental manipulation force that has ever existed. We're sitting back, cracking up because they are the most awesome, again, mental manipulation force that has ever existed. See, within the American Black culture overall, and it's really a sad thing overall, with few exceptions, that millions of American Blacks don't even realize that they only have half a generation to one generation left before the overall complete destruction of the Black culture. Yes, because it's ridiculous. Even within this particular show topic, you still have millions of American Blacks, with few exceptions, that still didn't even see the game, even with this. So you'll have some personnel that'll be like this. Well, what's the big thing about it? What a person don't want female officials about time to be, being to not be oppressed, and somebody got people got a problem. What personnel got a problem with the women's Final Four having all female officials? Oh, they must don't like what. I can't play that enough because for myself, especially as I get older, I would maximum this beyond maximumness. Just refuse to sit there and get into illogical arguments. I refuse to on that, especially when you observe through the game of these type of scenarios. And even with this about the women's Final Four, all female officials, all the female officials in the women's Final Four are gonna be women. And again, this is what supremacist is doing. Because again, they're like millions of those American Negroes, black men, black women, with few exceptions, just cannot understand because we are supreme over those Negro animal-minded type of bubblegum under the foot type of Negroes that don't understand the game we continue to keep playing. And we already don't give a two, the devil don't give a care about anything about uh, American black males overall anyway, with few exceptions. So they say it's like, you know how you have a cat or something, and you put something in front of a cat and they're just kind of playing with it until it gets bored of it. This is what the supremacist system, and there are others in the supremacist system, the ones that want to be supremacist system, and the ones that uh, or their assistants, etc. They look upon American Negro as like little play games. They'll play with American Black Negro males overall until they get tired and just go by something else until they want to come back and play with them some more overall because that easy. And they so the thing about what they're doing now, especially with the addedness for quite a number of time, is the venomous type of numbers of feminism, which has nothing to do with equality whatsoever. So you got that subsection within supremacists relating to venomous anti-male and ideology. And they know that there's quite a number of American Black women, with few exceptions, that don't even know that they are being used themselves against American Black male. And even again, this topic again. Because see, they know that most American Blacks are not really piece of thinkers. Now, I don't mean trying to go in some super scholarship type of thinking left and right and things like that, and read about a two or three books a week or 4 or 5 books a month. I'm not talking about all that. Some people can do that, and that's fine. But I'm talking about just ordinary, average, this type of thinking. And say, huh, that really doesn't make quite any sense. Or is there a game plan behind this? They say they know the overall American Negroes, Black male and Black women, are not thinkers on that. Now, prior to 1970s or some 1970s, but prior to that, 1960s, 1950s, before you're talking about a whole different level of American Black men and American Black women. Those time frames were greatness for the American Black men and American Black women because they had to sit there and have some kind of unification. I'm not talking about some ones that got with other personnel with some other different culture. I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to sit there and play that little game and stuff like that. I'm talking about collectively. And so now, relating to this topic, see, you got personnel, especially there are some number, or quite a number of American Black women, with few exceptions, again, that don't know that they're being used on that. And even this topic on this. Because again, they know already quite a number of American Black men, American Black women are not going to sit there and be thinkers. And they're not going to do any research overall. They're not going to look at statistics or just look at other different resources and see if there's a game being played. And this is no different on that overall. But there are numbers of males and females within the predominant culture that look at stats. The other different culture look at stats. Some, well, not quite like numbers of personnel within the predominant culture, right? But relating to this topic, it's such a ridiculous and disgusting deflectionary tactic that they use the topic of talking about the women's Final Four, how there's really never been a time in the women's Final Four that there's been all women officials. And they say they know that most people don't ask the question, which women you talking about? Which women are you talking about? Are you basing that upon ethnic background? Are you basing that upon racial background? What you basing it upon? You see that how this game goes. If you look back and start looking at some of the first professional basketball referees, and you say, okay, let's go back and find out if they were predominantly Black women or they were numbers of women within the predominant culture. And you know the obvious answer to that, and it surely wasn't American Black women. But again, this game plan keeps being played upon numbers of American Black women that don't even realize they're being used on this. And it's not even about just only talking about professional basketball officials. It's not even about that only. But I'll get to that in a second. See, the thing about it, see, this just say Harvard numbers of professional the women's Final Four. and prior to that, just in general, referees overall in general, be it American black men, American black women, uh, personnel within the predominant culture, male or women, numbers of what we call Hispanics, black males, black women, excuse me, Hispanics, male or female, numbers of Native Americans, what we call Native Americans, males and females, et cetera, others, et cetera. See, they're not going to sit there and say, huh, let's look at and see if it's equality even among women within those cultures. Equalness, equalness, right? Among professional basketball women officials. Let's see if basketball referees, college basketball referees, let's see if there's 25% of American black women that are professional basketball referees. Let's see if there's 25% professional Hispanic women referees. Let's see if there's 25% what we call Native American professional basketball referees. And I'm relating to more of the college right now, since the topic is about the Final Four and how this magnificent time or just women were officiating. Those bad males couldn't be around to oppress us helpless victim women from in professional basketball referee, and supremacists is sitting there laughing. Again, this is what they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Let me look at. Let me. I'm just gonna because again, this is not gonna be a long show. I just want to do a quick show on this because it's such a ridiculously see-through tactic, right? They'll put a few little black women, American black women, professional college basketball referees out there, and they say, "Look, look, look." But behind the overall scenes, you start saying, what are the numbers then of professional college basketball referee women? Show me the equality as I gave you those numbers. Show me 25% of this culture of black women that are professional basketball college referees. 25% again, women from within the predominant based culture, professional basketball college referees. Show me the 25% Hispanic numbers of women professional college basketball referees. Show me the 25% professional, what we call Native American women professional college referees. You see this disgusting game that continues to keep work, and especially upon numbers of American black women that don't again know they're being used, with few exceptions. And let me sit there and just throw some out to you again. Again, this is not about just only the college basketball referee scenario. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna. Uh, I'm not gonna go in detail with it, but let me go on this for a second. I'm looking at something we're talking about how there's a lot more a certain type of professional basketball association leagues that they're gonna pay women basketball referees equally. Let me say that again. I was reading some before where it's talking about how this specific, particular, or maybe some other ones, but this particular, anyway, a professional college association, should I say league, that does, big time professional leagues, mhm, that they're going to pay women's basketball referees equally, right? I'm just going to read just a piece of it. Uh, Now, as this particular association, basketball referee, this particular basketball association, as they examine various disparities among men's and women's sports, pressure is rising to also pay referees equally during the regular season. Two Division One conferences told the this particular media place they plan to equalize pay, and another is considering it. Others are resisting the change, even though the impact on their budget will be negligible. And they talk about how the details of this particular professional basketball, college basketball association referee pay are closely guarded. And they talk about how the level of disparity is wider than the gender pay gap across the US economy. That nonsense, again, deflectionary tactic. They talk about where women earn 82 cents for every dollar a man earns. And it is an overwhelming disadvantage for women who make up less than 1% of the referees officiating men's games. So you're talking about 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever it is of basketball officiating referees, women, and they're supposed to get paid the same exact thing as the overall numbers of professional basketball association males. Oh, boy, these games are ridiculously. And who is the person that's going to benefit more? What? American black women? Of course not. They're being used overall. It is going to be women from within the predominant culture who are sitting there doing what? I'm talking about the ones who know they are. What are they doing? Yes, that's what they're. Numbers of women within certain parts of the predominant culture are laughing because they are going to benefit more off these kind of things, not American black women. They just use numbers of American black women with few exceptions of how to get over in this system. Even I'm looking at something called the NCAA, uh, like different type of demographics. Remember I said earlier, it's not only just about the deflectionary, disgusting tactic that they utilize in saying, "Oh, the women's Final Four." Oh, but for the first time, really, history is going to be all female officiating by time. And supremacists laughing, and through and also assisting them is the venomous type of numbers of feminism. That's sitting back laughing because they have just the statement of males in general, and they surely don't give a 2 cents of a taka tale about black women, American black women. But there are the unfortunate quite a number of American black women that don't understand there are certain women within certain parts of predominant culture who are using them for their benefit. And even in this, let me throw this out to you. Looking at the NCAA demographics, where it talked about how where it talks about how women's basketball, what division, all divisions, and it shows the head coach, coaching staff. They show the statistics for assistant coach. They show, they show all these different things. So the coaching staff, I'm not going to go into specific numbers, but looking at 2022, 2021, 2020, it's talking about over 30 some percent, put it like that, over 30 some percent of the head coaches in the NCAA women's basketball, just said division all, over 30 some plus percent of them are give me one moment, are man, where did I lost it? Oh, are white males. Around about 6% of the head coaching staff for the women's basketball NCAA women's basketball division, all around about 6% are black males. You said, what they got to do with black women? Okay. They're saying that around about 45% of the NCAA women's basketball division, all coaching staff, around about 45% is white female. And around about 19, oh, excuse me, that's a little too high. Around about 10% of the coaching staff for the NCAA women's basketball coaching staff is black female. So around 45% of the head coaching staff within the NCAA women's basketball division, all around about 45% is white female. Only around about 10% of the women's NCAA women's basketball coaching staff division, all only about 10% is black female. Where's the quality of that? The assistant coach of the NCAA women's basketball division, all around 21% is white males. Only around 9% is black males. You said again, what they got to do with black women? The assistant coach, around 38%, I'm using 2022 right now, around 38% of the assistant coach for the NCAA Women's Basketball League, NCAA Women's Basketball Division, all around 38% is white female. Only around 23% of the NCAA Women's Basketball Division, all only around 23% is black female. Where's the equality on that? So the game is ridiculously simple to see through when you look at it. Because again, this is what supremacists is doing, and this through also venomous type of personnel within certain women within an yes. So besides laughing, they're sitting there talking among each other, laughing, and then cackling about how numbers of American black women don't even realize when they're being used themselves. I'm not just relaying that over. This is just logical analysis. Even when I just read you about the NCAA, it's called NCAA Demographics Database under Women's Basketball Division All. And where's the equality between head coach and assistant coach between American black women and numbers of women within the predominant coach? It's not even close. I've read some of those statistics all. They want again supremacists again that are sitting there. Again, supremacists know already. Excuse me. What are those supremacists a little bit? Yes, they're laughing. Supremacists is laughing, and also when the utilization of the venomous type of feminism is sitting there laughing because who controls the feminism anti-male movement overall? Who controls that? What, American black women overall? Of course not. Guys from certain women within the plant-based culture, the ones that in control of certain type of venoma or venoma fem or venomous type of ideology, which has nothing to do with feminism. Feminism has nothing to do with equality. It has nothing to do with equality. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I just kind of want to relay this over because it was just interesting how there was this oh wow, the NCAA, oh they're coming out this whoever else, they're certain people, they're coming to understanding that there has to be more equality in basketball, officiating for women. Women don't get paid enough professionally. Even though what I say again, 1%, 3%, whatever the small amount of professional basketball college referee women are, and they'll sit there and try to blame males. Play that game then. Show me the breakdown of, again, by race. Show me the breakdown of numbers of professional college basketball, numbers of women within the predominant culture. Show me by race. Among by race of professional college basketball, all divisions of women in college referee. Show me the racial equality. Show me the, or show whomever, show that woman. Well, then the professional college basketball referee areas, each one of them get paid the same. Do you see that kind of? They ain't gonna say ain't no sense. So this particular topic, because it was just interesting how it was like the women's final four and all female officials. And the topic of the day today's show, women's final four, all female officials, mental games never stop. I thank you for tuning in, CP.